and away. 2 Kings 2, 1 through 18. Do you want to go to heaven? What do you want to see there? What do you want to do? The Bible tells us that Elijah was taken to heaven. Elijah woke up. A beautiful smile spread over his face. Today was the day. Today was his last day on earth. God told him so. Today, God would take him to heaven. Elijah and his special helper, Elisha, talked. "I'm going to Bethel to visit the school of the prophets," Elijah said. "You stay here." But Elisha also knew this was Elijah's last day on earth. "I will not leave you," Elisha exclaimed. "I will go with you." Elijah and Elisha started on their journey. Elijah visited many of his friends that day. He told them goodbye. Late that afternoon, God told Elijah to cross over the river Jordan. The river was deep and there was no bridge. Elijah stopped on the riverbank and took off his cloak. He rolled it up and hit the water with it. The water divided, and there was a dry path for Elijah and Elisha to walk across. "What can I do for you before the Lord takes me away?" Elijah asked his friend. "I want to carry on your work," Elisha said. "I want help from the Lord. I want him to give me his power like he gave it to you." "If you see me when I am taken away, you will have what you have asked for," Elijah answered. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a chariot of fire appeared, pulled by horses of fire. The chariot drove right between the two men. Elijah was lifted up into the chariot and quickly carried away to heaven by a strong wind called a whirlwind. Elijah dropped his cloak as the chariot took him up. Elisha picked it up and held it close. He looked up into the sky. He looked as hard as he could, but the chariot of fire and the horses of fire and his friend Elijah had all disappeared. Elisha walked back to the Jordan River. He stopped. He rolled up Elijah's cloak, just as Elijah had done, and he struck the water with it. The water of the river divided. Elisha walked back across the Jordan River on dry land. Now he was sure he would carry on Elijah's work. Elisha knew that God had given him power. He would serve God just as Elijah had. For all of his days, he was God's servant, and he used the power God gave him to help others. God will give you power too, power to obey him and to do good all the days of your life. Our memory verse is, God gives power and strength to his people. Psalm 68, verse 35. God gives power and strength to his people. Psalm 68, verse 35.